Bigfoot Club, Season 2, Episode 9. This is Robert Jesse Dominguez, and with me is...
Coming from my home, Colleps.
And also...
It's Ash coming from my home as well.
Hey, guys.
You're always from your home. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
well, I mean...
That's true.
So,
I have to start out by saying this is really different.
Yeah.
And it's really weird because I'm not in studio behind the mic. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. This is
I'm happy to be back.
This is our second show that we're doing a call-in. Last week was Steven filling in for Chris, and then this week we're doing Chris from the call-in. So I don't know where I was going on that one. So
yeah, I'm calling in because of what we're not going to talk about. That's why I'm calling in.
Yeah.
well, we can talk about it a little bit.
But we're not going to talk about it.
I mean, we can.
I just don't want to
It's just changed so much on our stuff right now. So it's causing us. Oh, come on, give me a break.
What are you doing over there, man?
He didn't turn his alerts off before hitting record.
I know.
Are you revealing the letters?
Yeah.
On The Price is Right?
Yeah, I forgot.
Not The Price is Right.
The Price is...
Wheel of Fortune. The Price is Right. Come on.
Well, I got the audio on, and I forgot to take the notifications off on my Facebook stuff, so you can hear the notifications. But
I'm telling.
Anywho,
so unprofessional.
I know. I'm so unprepared. I'm so unprepared.
We got to get another person to run the board.
I'm not prepared either. At all.
So,
well, maybe like just a tiny bit, but mostly not.
So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about there was like some videos. Well, I guess since we're going to talk about Bigfoot first, let's just go ahead and go to our intro for Bigfoot. Bigfoot intro. Here we go.
Here we go.
So, we're going to talk Bigfoot.
Let's do it.
So, I
tell you, man.
Yeah.
I gotta, because that is the creepiest. Every time we haven't played that in a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we played that, but man, every time I hear it, it's freaking creepy, man.
It is, and it's and we can talk about it later, but there's a copyright thing because like we're posting on YouTube now, and so there's copyright stuff. So I've opted to use that one for now until and we'll talk about it later on the show, but
yeah,
but there's
creepy.
There's like a multitude of, and I'm a big fan of Coast to Coast website, and I use that website a lot on information and what's going on in the world. And there's I noticed that we were jumping on last week the Colorado Peeper stuff, and I kind of skipped over these two stories because I thought the Colorado Peeper was more important, so I jumped on that one first. But then I said, okay, I can go back to these two, three stories, and there was on Coast to Coast, and I already posted it on the Facebook Bigfoot group page and also the Twitter page too, about multiple Bigfoot sightings reported in Oklahoma urban wilderness area. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the Turkey Mountain.
Yeah. You guys want to comment on that before?
Well, I want to say you probably got a little bit. But I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Personally, and I think it's an interesting take on, kind of bringing awareness, but keeping it a little light.
Yeah. Chris, you want
to... My first thought whenever I started reading through this was, oh man, Stanley made it to Oklahoma.
I'll say this because I actually lived in Tulsa for like 2 years, and it's feasible because like there's a 50-mile radius around Tulsa that there's like sightings on either side, north, south, east, and west. And when I saw this, I said, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little, because if you go, you literally cross the border in Oklahoma right now.
Yeah.
To southeast corner or whatever, it's everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Every store, every gas station, all the house, not every house, but a lot of them have like the little silhouette cutouts and stuff. It's a very marketable thing in Oklahoma.
It wasn't. I'll say this: it wasn't that rampant when I was there in, let me see, 09, 2010, and it wasn't that rampant then. So it was interesting though. I mean, it's interesting area. So, and this was posted on Coast to Coast on March 31st, Turkey Mountain Wilderness Area in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I, like I said, I have it on the Bigfoot Club Facebook page. So any listeners want to go to our Facebook or Twitter and look those pictures up. It just looks like a costume to me.
Well, that's what I was saying about Standing making it to Oklahoma. Because if you look at the first picture on there, the one that's circled, it looks like he's doing his little dash into the woods to get ready to hold his camera. That's what it looks like to me. This looks like a person in a costume running around in the woods.
Yeah.
Well.
So.
And I think the second one is just him, hanging behind like some thin trees, just chilling.
Yeah, he's like
just chilling.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it looks like a person in a costume.
Well, do you want to give spoilers or?
Yeah, go ahead.
To go further into it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you hop on over to the park's Facebook page, you'll see about 2, 3, 4 new postings about this same creature. And
what does it say?
It's hang on just a second, let me pull it up. Hang on. If I can find it.
But the Turkey Mountain Urban Wilderness was posting it, and I thought it was pretty funny. So,
oops, that was my alerts. I'm so unprofessional too. I tried to turn it off. It didn't do right. All right. So, if you look down here and you scroll down a little bit, I don't know why I'm doing a voice. Oh my goodness. We see.
What is it?
They have the very first post. Well, not the first post. I'm not the fifth one now, but yesterday it was the very first one. It says, "Social distancing Sasquatch is here."
Yeah, they're not taking it serious.
Yeah, no. So. I don't think that any of it is real at all. I think it's all been just kind of a little fun little PSA type thing, for the park, because unfortunately people don't necessarily listen to guidelines, so you gotta kind of put a little extra thing out there. But I'll give it to them. They had a lot of people going for a little while.
Yeah, it was. They added some humor on it. I get it.
I like that they the way they went about it. They didn't just go straight into, oh, this is what it is. Like, oh, look what happened. Wait a minute, we caught up with him later over here.
Yeah,
he's got something to tell you guys.
So I'm gonna give this a pass. So
a pass. Well, obviously, because
I think they were just having fun with it.
Well, it is. That's exactly what it is. The whole thing is just like a little fun little PSA thing. Well,
you were saying, Chris?
You're going to give it a pass. I'm going to give it a hack.
I don't think it was just the way that was posted and the way I'm reading it. It just doesn't seem like it was like they're purposely trying to do it. They were just
well, I guess yeah. I guess a pass, because a hack would be somebody that's trying to deliberately
maliciously
put it out there as real. Yeah. So I got you. I'm gonna change it to a pass. Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. That's the first story that I saw, and
it's humorous. Yeah.
So I said I'm gonna pass on this one. I'm gonna do the Colorado Peeper last week. So
Well, now you know. Because when I was looking at it yesterday, I was like, "Did you know that they full on admitted that it was a hoax and it's just a thing?"
Yeah.
It's just a little advertising fun thing.
So there was another story on Coast to Coast that I thought was kind of interesting. It was no, it's titled "Bigfoot Sighting Rattles Witness," and it was posted on Coast to Coast on March 24th by Tim Benoit, and it's in Littleton, North Carolina, Halifax County. And before we go any further than that, I would just say I was doing my due diligence and I looked up on the BFRO, North Carolina, Halifax County, and there's like 0 Bigfoot reports.
Ever.
So
ever.
Yeah.
None.
What about the surrounding counties?
There's some. There's like some dating back in like the 70s.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of activity in this area. So it's probably got developed but I just wanted to play really quick a segment of this. I just thought it was I don't know what else.
Yeah.
All right, so we're taping you now. Tell us what you saw.
I know I saw Bigfoot.
And that was just no more than, 20 minutes ago?
That's right.
And that's off Moore Street? Tell us a little bit more.
Well, he was black. He was all bent over. His feet was real big.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there.
Yeah, I had to.
I hate to laugh because if this man is legitimately freaked out and scared, I don't want to laugh at him, but it's freaking funny, man.
Yeah, he said he had really big hands. His feet are really big. That's all he noticed. So no, I'm kidding. He noticed more than
no
that.
nipples.
He said he was black and bent over. His feet are really big.
The guy's name. Should I say his name? Should I say his?
Well, it's on the thing.
Okay, so his name is Jesse Walker. And he was, to be honest with you, the guy that was doing the interview, his name is Steven Barcelo. He's the owner of the Cryptozoology and Paranormal Museum in Littleton, North Carolina. So it's kind of convenient that he was there and was able to.
So the museum, is it in the same location, or did he just like how far apart?
I think it's like it's within the city limits. It's like I think
the same place where the sightings had never occurred before.
Yeah. So guess what? We need a sighting for our museum.
So
yeah.
I don't know. That's just a red flag to me.
If you listen more to the interview, and I'm not gonna play it all, but if you listen more to the interview, the Steven Barcelo says it's the fourth sighting in so many weeks, and this is the only one that I saw that was posted. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he's got any other ones that maybe someone just brought it to his attention. But there was another sighting like in November, I believe it was November the 7th, 2009. It was posted on Coast to Coast, and it was also posted by Tim Benoit, and Steven Barcelo there doing the same interview on YouTube with an ebony bird, and the posting, it's titled "Driver Spot Sasquatch Crossing the Road in North Carolina?" ? So
yeah.
So if you listen to her, she actually goes into a really big long spiel on where she was, where she understood where that museum was and what it was, and that she was living with her mom for some reason because her house is getting built, and she was going into a lot of detail.
Right.
And then she was turning off the street, and she said this thing crossed the road, and it was standing in the middle of the street. And the thing that caught me is that she said it was like 5 feet tall.
Really?
5 feet tall, a little bit bigger than me. That's what she said.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a hobbit, I guess.
Or is it BB? It's a little baby sash.
So
it was a baby splotch.
So she was driving, I think, whenever she did the interview. So I mean, I'm not saying that this guy is manufacturing this stuff, but it kind of sounds like he's manufacturing this stuff.
I don't want to say that that's what he's doing, but that's what he's doing.
Because like he was interviewing her while she was in the car. Like he came over to the passenger side. He was like had his camera. Yeah, had his camera, and made it seem like that it just happened, and she was
just like this other one.
Yeah. So.
And then immediately the first thought is, I have to go to this museum to see this guy. No, the fuck, it's not. Maybe in a couple of days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
he interviewed the guy 20 minutes after the supposed the supposed sighting. 20 minutes after.
Yeah, supposedly, actually, the guy walked over to his museum or drove over there.
And that's what I'm saying. 20 minutes after the.
So I actually went online and I looked up the Cryptozoology Paranormal Museum in Littleton, and I looked on the website, and it's a pretty good, decent website. But I went to About Us and went to see when they were created, and they don't have any of that stuff. So
yeah, it doesn't. I was looking for that too, like when it was founded, like when they started it, when their website was. I couldn't find anything. And I went to the videos portion of it, and they say they have like, I don't know, let me see, there's like 6 videos, but only one of them played.
Yeah.
And it's like 1 minute and 37 seconds of this couple that has some janked up wannabe castings of these feet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of hoopla.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny, most of the stuff. I mean, it's entertaining, and I get it, and I don't know how to take it. So I don't know. I think this I would call maybe a hack. I don't know.
I mean, I just think it. I don't know. I think it's they're searching to they're trying too hard, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
To get stuff for their museum, and
I mean, if it was me, I would go to the BFRO and submit this report and see if the BFRO would take it. See if they take it, and
they'll take it.
They might not. I don't know. It just depends if they got someone in the area.
Yeah.
Like if the BFRO thinks that this is a good sighting, then they'll send someone out. But if not, they'll just take it over the phone and go, okay, just tell me what you saw, blah, blah, blah. What county, where at, how tall was it? Okay. All right, I'll post it.
I mean, that's kind of what I meant. Not necessarily they send an investigator out, but they're pretty good about taking, which is good and bad. That they take pretty much everything.
So
map it out, but
well, if they watch that video, I don't think they're going to send somebody out based on that video.
Yeah.
If that's what they're putting up for a researcher to get out there, I don't think it's going to work. So
I mean, the guy had a good set of hair on him though. His hair looked good.
You know, he's an older guy.
Yeah.
He did have a good mop on top.
I mean, it didn't look like a toupee or nothing. It looked good. I mean, it was combed. It was. I mean, I'm not making fun of him.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry. You're giving me that
you
look.
You weren't calling him Christopher Walken's dad earlier.
I wasn't going to even say that. I wasn't even going to say that, but I said that I'll show.
Like I don't see it. You know.
But his hair looks like Christopher Walken, I guess. I don't know.
You think all gingers look alike too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell, man.
Does your mother know how to sew?
Tell her to sew.
Damn, tell her to sew that.
Well, I guess the Sasquatch is the only prescription. So.
Oh Lord.
That's
too
man.
Funny.
Yeah, and we're so stupid. So, sorry. I'm so stupid. I shouldn't call us all stupid.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get it, what they're doing. I get it. They're trying to make, he's trying to create a buzz, and I get it. But I think there's other ways of doing it.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, there's other ways of doing that.
All that's
there's legit ways of doing it.
Ask Todd Standing what that does for you.
Yeah.
Not getting Christopher Walken's dad.
Would Christopher Walken's dad even be alive now?
Probably not.
He'd be like 130 or something. Because, I mean...
That's a really good question.
Because, I mean, dude looks good for his... looks good, but he's probably not the youngest of people.
Yeah.
No.
Anymore.
If he's Christopher Walken's dad, what's his name?
Christopher Walken.
I would imagine, sir.
Yeah.
My favorite story about Christopher Walken, was that he used to lie about his birthday all the time. Be like, oh, I'm really sad because everyone forgot my birthday, like when he was on a movie set or something, because nobody knew, and then they throw him a party. It didn't matter when. Yeah. Just always get these birthday parties. Just fucking with people. The couple things that I didn't know about Christopher Walken until I saw like some in-depth interviews with him is that, number one, he doesn't know how to drive. Yeah.
He doesn't drive at all.
He never drives.
He never drives. And when he was doing, I can't remember the name of the movie that he was doing, where it was like the Sleepy Hollow version of it, where he was like the headless horseman.
You mean Sleepy Hollow?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it was called that. I don't know.
Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton one. He played the headless horseman. It's one with Johnny Depp.
And he never rode a horse either.
Yeah.
And he didn't ride a horse. He just rode on like a mechanical type of thing, and which I thought was kind of odd. And I said, man,
He was good in that movie.
Yeah.
That's funny too, because I don't know if you ever watched the Prophecy trilogy that he did with Gabriel.
Yeah, yes. I love that one.
Gabriel didn't know how to drive, so that was the reason why he would always get like the half-dead zombie people or whatever, bring them back to life and let them be his little bitches, because he didn't know how to drive a car.
That's right.
Because he was an angel.
Right. But really, he couldn't drive.
Possibly. I don't know. I wonder if like they wrote that in because of him doing that, or it was just a happy coincidence,
Yeah. That's a good thing. And another thing I didn't know about him is that he's a tap dancer.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Boy Slim video.
Yeah, and not until I saw that video, I said, "Man, is that a body double or
no?
That was really him."
Yo.
Yeah. He's really talented, man.
Yeah, he is.
He's really talented. Yeah. But what I think is the coolest thing about Christopher Walken is he found his niche, and every single movie that he plays in, he's the same character, and I love it because he found his groove, and he stayed there, and he's got this cool vibe about him, man. He's one of my favorite actors. I really like Christopher Walken a lot.
I really loved him in I think it was Mousetrap. He played the exterminator in that one.
Yeah.
And the mouse trapped him into some trunk, and they got him out, and he says, "Horse, fiendish, I won't do it."
He's funny.
I don't even know what that meant. So
I like hearing stories about people working with him, because he just likes to fuck with people, because he can just he plays it so straight and just says like some offhanded shit all the time, and they'll write it in the movies a lot of times. I can't remember. Yeah,
they do that all the time. I don't think there's probably a movie out there that he's done where he hadn't just ad-libbed something, and they're like, okay, just keep it.
Yeah.
Because he's so freaking talented. And if Christopher Walken says something, he's gonna put it in the movie because it's gold. So.
He also did Joe Dirt, and there's a there's a line that to this day I still use, and like it was the scene where he's talking to Joe Dirt about that serial killer. He did some bad things. He says, "Nothing happened." He goes, "The past is the past, presence now."
Yeah. Like we used to say back home, and I'm in Kansas.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, how did we talk? I just started talking about Christopher Walken
because you said that guy looked like he was his dad.
Oh my God.
my chemistry teacher. Well, I didn't have him for chemistry, but one of our science teachers, what we had, Mr. Dykes. Mr. Dykes. Mike Dykes. Yeah.
Mike Dykes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was cool, but that's who he reminded me of a lot because he had that really. He was from Louisiana, I do believe, so he kind of had. I mean, not the same timbre, obviously. There's more, but kind of had that same way of talking, and he always liked to fuck with kids all the time just because he could. And you never knew if he was telling the truth or if he was he's bullshitting. And he would be like.
That's, when you watch interviews with Christopher Walken, you never know when he's serious because he's the same. He has that same just zone, and you're like, is he being serious or is he lying? Because you never know.
Yeah, it's like he's always in character all the time. So
yeah, but he's freaking awesome.
Okay.
So his dad saw Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's how we got on.
His dad saw Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And he told Bigfoot, it's like, you're talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone.
It's the wrong tone. So he's my family.
What if we're his family?
Oh, man.
Just you guys hugging it out.
Okay.
You know they made a second one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not up to par.
Yeah, I never saw it.
It was a time like he went back in time.
I didn't.
Into the 70s in a tornado. And I'm like, why did I don't understand. That's why I don't know.
You know what? I knew it came out, but I'd never watched it because something told me not to, and I
watched it. I think I was just hanging out with our Uncle Marty over at his house, and it was just on TV, and he thought it was funny.
So we're just like 26 seconds in.
26 seconds.
26 seconds.
So
we only got 4 minutes to save the world. I don't know why I went there.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of Bigfoot stuff today, so
we don't have a lot of anything today.
I was gonna say
Go ahead.
I don't know if we have a lot of anything.
Well, we definitely have to talk about WrestleMania.
I got about 4 half-ass ideas, but I can't concentrate on anything worth this shit right now. That thing that we can't talk about.
That thing we can't talk about.
We can talk about it, but it's just kind of messed with my brain where I just can't. I got the anxiety, attention deficits.
Attention deficits. I like that. Mm-hmm. It's plural. Yeah. Okay, so you guys want to jump subjects?
Show.
For show?
Show enough.
Christopher, you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're going paranormal. The paranormal.
Boom.
I did.
Ash had the idea. You gave me this idea about talking about airports that were haunted, and that's a subject that I never thought about, haunted airports. Yeah. So,
well, I don't remember what it was, but I saw kind of something in passing about the O'Hare Airport in Chicago.
Yeah,
and I don't really remember what it was, but there's been a few things in the area that not just haunted, but just paranormal in general that happened at that same location, and then it kind of stemmed off. I got to pain looking at other things in Chicago and stuff too, but the O'Hare Airport, one of the reasons why it could be haunted was in 1979 they had the crash of Flight 191 where how many people? Let me see.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah. I had a plane crash. I think it was like some 30 odd people died. No. It says all 271 passengers, crew members were killed instantly, along with 2 residents in nearby trailer park, resulting in the deadliest air disaster in American history at the time.
Man, what year was that?
In 1979.
79. I was 8 years old. How old were you?
I was -4.
-4.
Yeah.
None of y'all born in the
Oh,
70s?
actually, you said 79.
Yeah.
79. Yeah.
Oh, I was negative. I was -2.
-2. I think I've flown to Chicago twice, and I never went to O'Hare. I always landed in Midway for some reason. I guess because I bought a cheap ass flight. And Midway's the.
I've never been to Chicago, so
I have not either. I want to go. I got a couple of friends there.
I tried.
I just want to go there for. I want to go there for Wrigleyville.
I went
for the stadium.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to do that. I was there I was standing up in a wedding, and I got there, and the only free time I had to go do, I wanted to go stand next to Michael Jordan's statue.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
I didn't realize that that's in a really bad part of town.
Oh yeah.
And so,
Yeah, their stadium is in the straight ghetto.
Yeah, I drove up to it. I didn't drive. Well, my friend drove up to it, and we got out, and the whole stadium had a fence around it. You couldn't even get in there to go take a picture. I said, "What the hell?"
Because someone stole that basketball one time. That was on Shameless, where Frank stole the basketball off the Michael Jordan, and then they pawned it. He sold it.
I remember that episode.
Yeah.
I didn't watch too many episodes, but I watched that one for some reason.
Well, that's why they have the fence up there.
That guy's a hustler.
Yeah.
Do you have any more airports?
Well, another bit on that in 2006, the big thing that's like his attention is there was a big UFO sighting there. It happened November 7th, 2006, around 4:15 p.m. It says a total of 12 United Airlines employees and a few witnesses outside this airport reported UFO. The FFA declined to investigate the incident because the UFO was not seen on the radar and it was called a weather phenomenon.
Weather balloon?
Weather balloon, yeah.
Wow.
That's their go-to.
Yeah, it says, and there's a lot of detail about that, and that's the thing. It's just like so many people saw it, and it was very wildly reported. I remember it just be like, it happened.
Yeah, they can't dismiss that if you got like multiple people seeing the same thing, and I know we don't really talk about UFO stuff on here. I mean, I'm fascinated about it, but I don't know that much about it. So.
Right, but I feel like a lot of times things like that go hand in hand. And also in the Chicago area, which this might have to wait for another show because it's a whole thing themselves. That it's been, it was back in 2017 when it was really happening, but it happened. There were sightings in previous years up until then, but this is when like the most concentrated was. But they call it the Chicago Mothman.
Oh yeah.
Spotted in that area.
Yeah, you sent me that. You sent me that article. Yeah.
So. I don't know. There's some stuff being attracted to this area.
That is weird. Because usually,
that's strange.
Whenever you get stuff like that, like UFOs, it's always like near like a power plant or something or military base.
No,
something
airport kind of makes sense. Too.
Yeah.
It's like, is this where we put this thing?
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I think as far as airports go in America, like other than this one, the most that gets talked about, I guess, I'm having a hard time finding my word, how to put it, is the Denver airport. It's weird.
That one actually made the top 5.
Yeah. That one's on that list that we're going to talk about eventually. So, it says haunted airport in the world. Apparently there was issues in construction. You know why? Because it was built on Native American ground. Okay, well, you're going to have problems like that. Like this is like this article is like very opinionated.
Well,
that's always a good idea.
I've seen a meme.
Yeah, I was going to say the next sentence is this is always a good idea, as attested by the story surrounding the whatever that's called.
Savanaboom.
Yeah.
So.
Suvarnabhumi Airport. It's always a good idea.
Yeah, but it doesn't say what kind of entities or what kind of things are going on there. I guess we gotta.
That's what I was.
In Denver.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha.
So maybe you can look some stuff up, or
I gotcha.
Or maybe the listeners can like post some stuff on our Facebook and Twitter page. If you guys find any stuff about the Denver International Airport, post it on our page so we can talk about it and on
I got
another
a few
show.
things pulled up here right now.
Okay.
It's from Mental Floss. The 5 conspiracy theories surrounding the Denver airport. And I don't know if y'all ever been there. I haven't been, but
I haven't.
It's interesting.
Okay. I've never been there.
Okay, number 1 is the runway shape. And it says, although it holds underlining themes of various conspiracy theories regarding there was a fine airport that needed to be replaced. They said that like the way the runways are set up, they're too close together for safe landing in bad weather, which happens about 150 days a year, and cut the number of arrivals. But it says that if you look closely, it looks like it's in the shape of a swastika. Which, not defending swastikas.
Right.
But before it was a Nazi emblem.
It
is in several different regions. And of course there's all different types. It's a power symbol. You know? The reason why it was chosen as a symbol for Nazis, it dates back to, that's a common symbol with the Aryan race.
Like the Celtics and stuff?
Like the supposed Atlantean descendants and stuff that have traveled across the world and blonde hair, blue eyes. It's very fascinating. And it's kind of hard to study because it talks about the swastika so much. So that kind of makes people go, huh?
Yeah.
But if you look all across the globe, it's kind of starting from the Mediterranean area and spreading off into like Papua New Guinea and even into New Zealand, parts of Australia, that there are people that have blonde hair, blue eyes, and get these certain genetic traits from this wandering set of people that they don't really know about. And the theory is that they're Atlanteans, they're star children, they're this other race,
Yeah. Prince Namor. Sorry. Sorry to throw that in there.
But it says the floor also has strange marking on it that people believe have elements from either it's from a new strain of hepatitis, or it could also be a symbol taken from the Navajo language. And the next one is there's a dedication marker that has a lot of symbols from the Masonic community, which I don't know.
The Freemasons?
The Freemasons, yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of. I don't know. I go back and forth on that because I grew up. My dad and my grandpa and my grandpa's dad were all Freemasons. So I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just something so benign.
They were like bricklayers.
Yeah, no. There's these guys that met upstairs, and once a year they had a catfish fry.
Yeah,
that's all. Yeah. That's all I knew about it.
That was the extent of it from your.
I got a couple books or whatever, but the dedication marker, but it it calls it New World Airport Commission. It's an organization that doesn't actually exist. And it has a time capsule that's set to open in 2094. The symbols on the marker are associated with the Three Masons. And
2094?
Yeah, 2094 is there's a time capsule inside this.
I'm going to be gone by then.
This marker that's supposed to include...
That's a long time.
A credit card, Colorado flag, the newspaper that on the day it opened, things like that, But of course they believe, that it's something more nefarious because of it says some New World Airport Commons, that whole thing is not real.
Yeah.
And then the next one is that there's all these underground tunnels underneath it all. And allegedly, whenever it was being built, there was somebody that reported it's like there's a whole skyscraper underneath ground. Like it's a whole, building like Raccoon City, basically, underneath and all these tunnels and stuff. And it's like, chances are it's just like baggage and whatever.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, there's a new world order, whatever, underneath this airport.
They're going to talk about goblins too?
No. Okay. But the things that...
They come from Kentucky.
Yeah, they come from Kentucky. It's possible. But the weirdest thing, and it doesn't talk about it on this page, I'll have to pull up another one, to me, is the art murals in there. And they're... I mean, I'm not going to knock anyone's art. I believe that whatever, express yourself however, but it's just a little... Like the themes that they chose, it just seems strange. Let me pull it up. Let me look real quick.
Whenever you get a chance, can you post it onto the Bigfoot Club?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But there, let's see. I'll pull up a couple. There's a lot of images. There's one mural that has like a whole bunch of like people of different ethnicities, mostly children and stuff, are gathered around this woman, and it's very brightly colored. And it's called Peace and Harmony in Nature, and it's awesome. But then there's another one it's kind of similar, but it looks like a dead Nazi soldier underneath them. And it's like they're all really bright, and there's a rainbow over them. And then there's like this dead soldier with a gas mask, and it doesn't have like any obvious Nazi memorabilia, but that's what it looks like.
So
you can kind of tell.
It's in the airport?
It is in the airport. This is the mural in the airport.
That's weird. I never heard of that.
That's really weird.
It is. It's kind of like, and then you have this dedication marker talking about this New World Order organization that doesn't exist and no one's ever heard of, and then you have this mural of basically the people fighting what would be this New World Order. And there's also outside, and it makes me think of go back to like Montauk, which I didn't touch on that, but I haven't got to this part of the book yet. But if you look on the cover, there's the golden horse statue.
There's a horse, yeah. And
what Preston said was he got into that, it talks about time travel, that he went into the future and he doesn't know where, but there was a burning city in front of it, like something had, post-apocalyptic looking area. Oh God, knock your stuff over. But he remembers seeing a golden horse statue. Well, out in front of this is this creepy ass blue Mustang statue. Which when I saw it, I was like, that's what it made me go, and that's what it immediately made me think of.
I mean, I don't mean to be a nerd. That's not, maybe it's a Bronco from the Denver Broncos. I don't know,
but I mean, probably that's the inspiration, but the blue Mustang.
Yeah.
But it has like these red eyes, and just the way it looks, if you look, and we posted a link on the Facebook page too.
Okay.
Of this drawing, that Preston, it looks very similar. Like the statue isn't gold, but the red eyes and the position in it, of course, that's kind of common too.
Yeah.
But they both look kind of mechanical. Not necessarily like, horse,
nature,
but just like kind of abstract-y, like robotish looking horse.
If there were 3 more horses there, then I would kind of worry.
Yeah, but just like, let's say, theoretically, there is this New World Order underneath the Denver airport, which who knows why.
We need to get Peyton Manning to go investigate that.
You think he'd be down?
Yeah.
You never know. You never know what Peyton Manning's into.
Yeah, he'll sell him insurance.
I mean, oh God, I'm so over those. Like
He'll write him a jingle.
The nationwide. This is not an ad. But okay, let's say theoretically, maybe.
Yeah.
maybe Preston Nichols went into the future. New World Order had destroyed the city, and that's all that was remained. Maybe he went to Colorado. Theoretically, that area I feel has a lot of UFO stuff going on too. It's not too far where Area 51 is, and the alleged new location of whatever, I guess you'd call it Area 52.
52.
I don't know. It's somewhere else. I think it's in Colorado.
Yeah.
If not, it's very close nearby, in the Four Corner region. But it's interesting. It's spooky, and especially that mural. Please feel free to look it up and just check it all out. It's just strange. It just seems a strange choice to put in an airport.
It is. That sounds creepy.
I mean, it's beautiful, but it just doesn't seem like the right location.
I don't see that this type of art being in an airport. I see it like in a museum or
but I mean, maybe it's like a rotating thing because I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't been to a lot of airports, but a lot of times they have areas where they have local artists on display and stuff, whatever. But it's not a permanent mural fixture type like that. It's just an interesting choice.
Okay. You got any other airports or no?
Not really, except for like that list that you gave me.
Okay. We can run through this really, really quick, and because you gave me the idea, and then I looked it up, and I don't know how credible this is. It's on www.skycop.com under Fun Facts, 5 most haunted airports in the world. And the first one on here was Daniel K. NEA International Airport, Honolulu. They say it was opened in 1927. Seeing how Hawaii was kind of hard to reach, it sees a lot of traffic. It also sees a lot of a single ghost infesting the premises. There's one story in particular. There's a lady waiting. Is a blonde woman with a white dress has been spotted over an area, including the gate. So she was reported as a woman who took her own life after a man who promised to marry her had left on a flight. That's sad.
That's a very, very, very common general lady ghost story.
Yeah, that's that's common anywhere. So
it's like, even allegedly at my building, wasn't that kind of the story that the guy that supposedly killed himself? Which is bullshit. That building's only been there since 1997. Yeah, because or the mid 90s.
Yeah, and a lot of our listeners don't know that you work in an area where you work in a field that I used to work in.
Yeah.
You work in security. I used to work in security, and I worked in security in Las Colinas. And one of the buildings I was working, I took care of another building across the street where you're currently working now, and there was a rumor going around.
You ruined the setup. You should have told the story literally, but anyway.
So supposedly there was a guy that was in your building that committed suicide because he was caught cheating or something. And whenever I was working there, the building was empty. And whenever I was walking the floors at night, which I did once a night, there was doors slamming behind me. And I don't know if you're experiencing that, but whenever I was...
but the deal is there's an insane problem in static air, too.
Yeah.
We have I do my rounds, I go down the fire escape on those, but we have the, I guess they're the little, that let air into the building, kind of.
Yeah.
But they knock constantly.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam.
Well,
anytime you open a door in that stairwell.
Well, whenever I was there was like no walls. There was like
right.
the only walls there were the walls that were encasing the elevators and the walkways that go to the elevators. Everything within the space was all empty. There was nothing. There was like no sheetrock, no ceiling tile, nothing. So whenever I was walking out, like for example, I was on 5 going down to 4 on the stairwell. And the doors I just went through on 5 are now slamming, and they were heavy ass doors. So I go, what the hell? So I run back up, and I didn't see anybody there. So I go, okay, something's going on. So, and whenever I would get relieved in the morning, because I was there all night. Whenever I get relieved in the morning, somebody, my relief would say, "Hey, did you meet our friend across the street?" And I go, "What?" Nice of you tell me. So,
well. I can't say
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of that going on too. Where doors will open and some, but we do have a static air problem. Like,
Yeah.
we have a certain car company that's in the building that their alarm kept going off because we were having problems with static air because their doors weren't sealing right. But I will say this, and it's been a while since I worked on overnights, but right before I came off of it, I was doing my patrols, and it felt like for several weeks on and off, there's only one floor that has doors on the hallway. Like, it's where we have our security company, and I'm not sure it's from their setup or what, but they leave them propped open most of the time. And I'd walk by them, and they creak and pop and stuff like they're moving. So, okay. And then sometimes I find them closed when they weren't supposed to be, and okay, whatever. And I try to, because when you're up there by yourself, everything, it takes a little while to get used to all the noises and creaks and moans. So I just like, and then in that same spot, like in between the two doors, I'm walking through. It's probably been a couple of months ago. It felt like someone put their hand on my shoulder, which maybe that happened. Maybe my clothes shifted in a weird way or whatever, because it's the middle of the night. I'm sure I did not have enough sleep, and your mind gets the better of you sometimes. But I avoided the third floor for a little while. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. Like, I don't want it at my work. I don't want it at my home.
Yeah.
It's like,
don't bring it home.
If I want to deal with ghosts, I will come to you.
Oh man.
No bringing home.
Yeah.
No bringing home.
Which I think our whatever. I don't know.
Cause you bring it home, and I come over there on Sunday, and I gotta deal with it.
I didn't bring anything. If there's anything here, it was already here when I got here.
Yeah.
It's Robert's fault, right?
I know.
Well, again, because it's kind of one of those things where you're not gonna see it until you look for it, and then everything makes you think that's like where your head's at is going to be that. But I know we both have had like little here, where it's like, well, the door dinger. Why is the door's not open? Why did it looks like somebody walks through the hallway like it shouldn't. There's a wall there.
Every time I wash dishes, I always see somebody on the right all the time, and I think like sometimes you sneak up on me.
I do,
and you scare me sometimes. So,
I'm a ninja
because you're quiet like a ninja, but there's times I think it's you, but it's not. And I go wait, she's at work.
Or when I was gone to Fort Smith too, that happened.
Yeah. So
it could just be your brain gets used to that, or you expect something, or
I don't know.
I don't either.
So the Honolulu airport has, aside from the lady waiting, there's minor hauntings as well. In Waikiki's shuttle.
The Wiki.
Sign it up.
Is it Wiki?
Wiki shuttle.
Wiki. There's a choking ghost that receives the name due to causing the sensation of someone sitting on their chest or choking. This is also reports that toilets flushing by themselves for no reason throughout the class of the boon, rather than be afraid. That's weird.
That happens at my work a lot too.
Yeah.
Be sitting there, and I know there's nobody in the building. I know nobody walked in and just. Chris, automatic toilets.
Chris, you want to read the next one? Islamabad.
Yeah, Islamabad Airport, Islamabad, Pakistan. Islamabad International Airport has come into operation only recently in 2018. The construction started in 2007 and supposedly took that many years to build because of ghosts. People claim to feel a heavy energy at the airport and don't feel comfortable at the airport at night. The workers also felt the good old pressure on the chest thing, just like in Honolulu. It seems that ghosts are franchising out.
Yeah.
People also shared rumors on social media of relatives working at the airport making claims of supernatural shenanigans.
Hey, what's
Security
that word?
guards are
Shenanigans.
Say it. Hey, what's that place you like? I'm sorry, I couldn't. That's what I think of every time is fucking Super Troopers.
Yeah.
What's that place you like to
Super
go?
Troopers. Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Oh.
Sorry.
Hey, look, security guards. Hey, that's what y'all
Yeah.
well, actually is. Are reportedly losing consciousness due to ghostly presence, though this is probably more easily explained by the combo of boring work is done overnight in comfortable chairs.
I don't know about
Bullshit.
that one.
They don't ever give you a comfortable chair. Especially in fucking Pakistan. Are you kidding
Sure,
me?
I know, right?
What kind of
I
chairs
was
they
gonna
got in
say,
Pakistan where they
I
just
don't know if Pakistan has comfortable chairs. I'm not sure.
They got like buckets. I'm sorry.
which ain't much better than some of the places I've done it before.
They got
Five guards in a 4x4
just lean
shit.
against the. They just lean against the wall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is whoever wrote this is pretty funny. I have to say, but they definitely have their opinion. But I mean, this is like a brand new airport.
Yeah.
And supposedly these ghosts have delayed it. It started in 2007, and these ghosts have delayed the process of this airport being open until 2018. So heavy energy. I mean, that's pretty common if there's ghosts around. You know, especially if there's like a bad energy or an evil presence. There's always heavy energy. So
I'll say this that India and Pakistan probably have some of the most credible videos I've seen of stuff moving by themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
They
seen.
have a lot of security systems.
Yeah.
Over there.
So
yeah,
it's kind of odd.
And you know, there's probably a lot of superstition, and that's probably contributed to a lot of the reasons why it was delayed. Was people like, I'm not fucking going out there to work. You know what I heard my cousin say?
Yeah.
I'm not going out there. You cannot pay me enough money to go out there.
Chris, you want to read the next one? You're always good at reading stuff.
Yeah, I can read next one.
That one's pronounced Campaguda.
Campaguda International Airport in. Sorry, somebody's hot rodding outside. Bangalore, India. So Bangalore may pride itself on being an IT hub, but its Campaguda International Airport is supposedly home to creatures more ghoulish than any Silicon Valley investor.
Wow.
The best detective story claims that there was a lady in a white sari on the runway. Pilot called the airport staff to help her, but she vanished by the time they reached the area. It's not the only time she was seen at the airport. The staff claims to have seen in other parts of the area. She has also appeared in the cargo building next to one of the escalators and even the parking bay. Maybe she's waiting for a delayed flight.
Very opinionated, this guy.
Very.
Yeah, whoever wrote this is very opinionated. It's funny though. I like it.
She's waiting a very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is another woman. Another woman.
Another woman in white.
Yeah, another woman in white wearing a sari.
Yeah, that's like the traditional like Indian women wearing with the long scarves and stuff.
Yeah. This next one, Chris, is pronounced Suvarnabhumi.
Suvarnabhumi Airport, Bangkok, Thailand. Suvarnabhumi is not just a haunted airport; it's actually considered to be one of the most heavily haunted spots in Thailand. Quite an achievement for a place that only started operating in 2006. Since then, it has been the spot of both ghost sightings and terrible accidents ascribed to malicious forces. Before it was built, this place was known as Cobra Swamp, and it was also an ancient burial site. So there you go. There were strange
great combination there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's a good combo for some ghostly activity. There were strange incidents and fatalities during construction. 99 Thai Buddhist monks performed an elaborate exorcism. At the conclusion of the ceremony, a baggage handler claimed to have been possessed by the guardian of the cemetery, and that's before you get into the multitude of ghosts reportedly inhabiting the space. This one to me seems to me to be the most legit.
Yeah. Because it's history.
Yeah, because of the history of it. I mean, you got a lot of Cobra Swamp, and then you have an ancient burial site. I mean, that's, when I thought of that, I thought about Brown Springs and the dumping ground.
Yeah.
The mafia dumping grounds out of Brown Springs. And that was your most, that's where one of your most intense encounters was in Brown Springs. And, I mean, of course, when you throw dead bodies in a place, you're going to have, you're going to have activity there. So,
but this place, Savannah Boom, has probably got like more history than Brown Springs ever had. So
absolutely.
I imagine it's probably heavier than anything if we were to go out there. So, because
I mean, you're thinking Brown Springs was like mob. They not saying that that's not horrible that the mob is killing people, but if you can imagine what this in Bangkok, Thailand, what was going on in this ancient burial site, what was, who was getting thrown in there and what was happening to these people to get thrown, I don't know, man. It might be, it doesn't say what kind of ancient burial site, but, it's probably got...
have a lot of detail, but, I mean, if you know anything about Bangkok, there's a lot of nefarious things going on there, too, anyway.
Yeah.
It could be a similar situation.
A lot of cultural cleansing and probably just
that's why there's a lot of tribal stuff going on.
Yeah, tribal wars and stuff.
A lot of tribal stuff going on, and so to me, out of the ones that we've read so far, this one seems to be the most legit. And then going to the last one, we've already talked about.
Yeah, we already talked about that one, the Denver one.
Yeah, it's the Denver International Airport. So
they didn't have too much detail on that one.
They did not. For what it is.
Yeah,
they didn't really.
We had to lean on you again.
I know for what Ash was talking about. I mean, you think they would put some of it on here, but what's funny is the last little paragraph under it. It says the most usual spooky things you can expect to encounter at an airport is a flight disruption, flight delays, canceled flights, and overbooking is a lot more common than ghosts. And while Skycop is no Ghostbusters, we definitely know how to deal with flight compensation claims. Claim compensations via Skycop and up to $600 in compensation may be yours.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that they threw their little ad in there.
Yeah, he was also saying about, more, than any Silicon investor. Like he has something against people with money or something.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was he's going after the people with money. So in Silicon Valley,
very, very opinionated.
It's time for guilt.
Yeah, and it's euros, 600 euros. Like that. So this must be somewhere in Europe.
Yeah,
because it says $600. I said $600, but it's 600 euros.
Yeah, in
compensation, maybe.
Compensation.
So I would like to.
Well, I think this is like a little. The website just deals with like different kind of flight type things.
Yeah, it's probably like a jump off point for like flights or something, or hotels.com or something.
Yeah,
you can get compensation or something. So
I just thought it was funny that they threw in their little advertisement at the end of a ghost story.
Let's go to an airport. Go see haunted. Oh, let's buy some flights while we're in it.
Yeah,
I vote for Denver.
By the way, we can't help you. We can't help you beat up ghosts, but we can help you with your flight disruptions.
Oh man!
If you or a loved one experienced a haunting, you could be entitled to some compensation.
Yeah,
free flights.
600 euros.
So I know we don't really get a chance to talk that much about wrestling, but this weekend is WrestleMania weekend, so I want this platform to talk a lot about it, if that's okay with both of you guys.
Hey,
Yeah, I guess so.
let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Wrestling.
Wrestling. We're gonna talk about some wrestling.
So this is WrestleMania 36. This is probably the most strangest WrestleManias I have ever watched, been a part of, been a fan of. Strange. So
You know what it reminded me of watching it?
what?
It's like, you remember, like, really, really late night on Saturdays, they would show the smaller on-road shows that weren't necessarily meant for TV.
Yeah.
And there'd be like 40 people there, and
Yeah.
mostly just like parents with kids. This is what it reminded me of,
And
honestly.
there's like a rope, a string around the ring
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
It's like someone's warehouse or something.
And they come on super, super late.
Yeah.
Hey,
early,
that would
depending
be
on-
pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did you guys? I know Ash. I know you didn't, but Chris, did y'all get a chance to watch the first night of WrestleMania?
No, I
didn't.
I didn't watch it, but I did check out the results, and I saw what happened.
Yeah. So supposedly this WrestleMania was pre-taped. It was pre-taped like last week. There was all the matches were pre-taped, and they had, each one of them has, depending on your SmackDown and Raw, they got like the certain SmackDown and Raw commentators. And then Vince, supposedly the rumor was that he put this in order that he wanted. So what we have right now, the product that we're watching, or what happened yesterday, is because none of this was like taped in chronological order. It was just, they just did a bunch of matches, taped them, and then he just edited them the way he wanted it. So
Interesting.
So there was a couple of changes. Yeah. There was a couple of changes on it. And we can go through the list really, really quick, or we got an hour to kill. So I just wanted to get y'all's take on what y'all thought about that. I mean, because like only WWE and AEW are the only ones that are putting on shows right now. Right now, Impact is broadcasting stuff, but they record weeks and weeks ahead of time.
Right.
And Ring of Honor's not doing anything. New Japan's not doing anything. NWA's not doing anything. No one's doing anything except for WWE and AEW. So just wanted to get y'all's take on that.
It's interesting.
I know AEW is whooping WWE, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, they're doing like 2 or 3 like live and matches on. But they're showing a lot of like old product, like a lot of old WrestleMania stuff. And whenever they do that, I get up and I go like put a load of laundry in. Yeah. I go like, go make a sandwich or something, or so Saturday night had the opening with Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross defeated the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag team titles. And I knew that was going to happen because I can't think of the girl's name, Kairi Sane. Her contract's coming up, so I figured they were going to drop the titles to Alexa and Nikki. So,
and she's got that awesome song going around right now.
Yeah, so
I love it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm a big Nikki Cross fan. I think she's a good-looking woman. It's just me, but so
she's crazy, man.
Yeah, she is.
What I think is cool is they put her with Alexa Bliss, because Alexa Bliss, she's not crazy. She's really calm and cool, and but Nikki Cross is insane.
I would just say this because like Alexa Bliss, before Ronda Rousey showed up, she was a headliner. She did a lot of like main events and did a bunch of house shows, like main events and stuff like that. And I know she got hurt, so something's going on with her because they tagged her with Nikki. So she doesn't get a lot of wear and tear. So to me, that tells me that she's not extremely confident or not all the way 100% there. So whenever they stick you with a tag person like that, and you've been like an independent, performer the whole time, that kind of tells me that she's not all the way there, or she's not 100% yet. So that's just my point of view.
That's possible.
Well, you know more about it than I do. I just thought it was because they wanted to push Nikki Cross, and I mean, if you want to push somebody, you put them with one of the biggest stars you got.
Yeah, and she's a draw. She's easy on the eyes, and she does a good. She talks good on the mic, and so she gets popped. So yeah, that makes sense.
Because they put Nia Jax with Alexa Bliss whenever she was starting to catch fire.
Yeah,
and so, but she didn't do much. Nia Jax didn't.
Yeah,
but she wasn't that good. So
I don't think she was that good on the mic either. That's probably why they put her with Bliss. So
yeah, because she wasn't good on the mic at all. But Alexa, she's good at everything.
So the second match was Elias and King Corbin, and I know King Corbin's not really happy with the deal with Elias because he felt that he was a main eventer. He was doing a lot of main events with Roman and Seth and stuff, and now he says he's because whenever you do like a storyline, you do like maybe 2 or 3 pay-per-views and then you move on to someone else. Right. So he's off of Roman, he's off of Seth. He says he's got to start back at the line. Start with Elias. So
man.
He dropped big time when he went to Elias. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So Elias defeated him last night. It was kind of odd because right now Elias is a babyface, and before the match he hit King Corbin with the guitar before the match started. So that's
I wish that they would quit fighting with instruments. Like, what was it like? A few weeks ago when they had all those cellos and shit, and they're just beating the shit out of each other with fucking orchestra instruments.
I know, I don't get
like,
that.
Why are you doing that? That's so wasteful.
I know that's like music teachers across America was like cringing every time that happened.
I was cringing.
Yeah, but those instruments are just they're like the crappiest made instruments there are. So
I hope so.
But
they're but I get it. Don't destroy it.
It didn't seem to have any relevance either. Like, what? Who thought that up, and why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, at least Elias's guitar goes with his character.
Stick, yeah. But I don't know. That just made me think of that. It just popped in my head.
Yeah.
It's like, remember when this really weird thing happened and we don't know why? Which I guess that's kind of expected from this sort of entertainment.
Yeah.
Stuff out of left field sometimes.
But that's WWE though. Yeah. They do a lot of stupid crap just for no reason, just to do it. And I'm like,
yeah.
What did you? And it went on for forever too.
Yeah.
I'm happy that King Corbin got beat because I can't stand that now. Yeah. I'm not a big Elias fan, but I really can't stand Corbin.
What makes me upset is that there was I think it was last year, Elias had a really good pop and he was really popular and he was getting the crowd, and then they didn't push him, and then they stopped pushing him, and I just thought it was dumb.
Well, he kind of just dropped off, like out of nowhere. He just kind of just left, and I'm like, what the?
So,
but they do that too. That's WWE.
The third match was Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler, I don't know what her name is. Baszler.
Shayna Baszler. She used to be a UFC fighter.
Becky retained the title and beat her, but here's my thing on it, and I'll rant on it and then I'll shut up. But Shayna, she's a great athlete. She's a great athlete on NXT, but she's in NXT and she's not a main roster for WWE Raw.
Yep.
And whenever you give her an opportunity with Becky Lynch, which is one of the hottest women, probably her and Charlotte are probably the 2 hottest women in WWE.
Yeah.
And whenever you skip over all the other talent and you bring Shayna Baszler that hasn't done her deal or hasn't been on the road with the main roster girls, that's like a big slap in the face. To me, that is. So I'm not happy with that.
She didn't earn it. No. She hasn't done anything to earn getting to fight Becky Lynch for the freaking title.
Yeah.
That's what pissed me off about Ronda Rousey when she got in there.
Yeah.
2 matches and she's already fighting for the title. I don't care who you are. you should have to earn it, man.
So I don't know if I was like Dana Brooke, if I was Natalia, if I was Sasha Banks, I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed.
Pick any one of them. Pick any one of them that's been on the main roster.
Yeah,
that's traveled and been on the. Pick any female on there that's been on the main roster and traveled and done all the shows and done all that. Pick any one of them, I'd be pissed.
So that's my rant on that. Okay, I'm gonna shut up on that after that. So
tell us how you feel, man. It's your show. You can go as long as you want.
The fourth one
This next one irritates the fire out of me.
Yeah, Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan, and Sami Zayn beats Daniel Bryan, and that one is, I don't know what to think of that one. So
what? Why?
Well,
why?
You know, Sami Zayn hasn't really wrestled anybody or done anything. I think he's been hurt, and they've been putting him as manager for Shinsuke and Cesaro. Yeah. And so he's been doing the mouth talk because like Cesaro doesn't talk well and Shinsuke doesn't talk at all. So no, he's their mouthpiece, and and now he gets to wrestle a main event. If I was Cesaro, if I was Shinsuke, I'd be pissed.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Here's the thing. I will never deny that Sami Zayn is great on the mic.
Yeah.
The guy is incredible on the mic. But if I was Shinsuke and if I was Cesaro, I would be absolutely beyond pissed.
Yeah.
That this guy that was just managing me because he couldn't wrestle is the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
What? Come on.
So that one he beats Daniel Bryan. Daniel gets Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura attack. I can't think of the guy's name. His friend. What is his name? I can't think of the guy that's running with Daniel Bryan. Anyway, so they attack Daniel Bryan's friend, and then
I can't think of his name right now.
Daniel gets sidetracked, and Sami Zayn pins him, and that's it. So that was awesome. So anyway,
awesome.
So the fifth match was it was supposed to be for the tag titles, and it was a 6-way. It was supposed to be a 6-way. It was John Morrison and the Miz, the Usos, and the New Day. So the rumor on this one was Miz got sick.
Really?
Yeah, he got sick and he got a fever, and a lot of people were pissed off. A lot of people were pissed off about that. So I think
he got sick.
He got a fever, and they sent him home. And
no, those people can get happy in the same pants they got pissed on.
Yeah. So
are you fucking kidding me?
So supposedly Rey Mysterio got sick, and then I think I'm not sure because of Miz, and then Dana Brooke got sick because Dana's supposed to be in the match right now that we're watching. And she got pulled out because she had a fever too. So that was the story. So
well, I mean, don't take any damn chances. That's so stupid.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's why people got pissed off at Roman for pulling out. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Are
you fucking kidding me? Those people that got pissed off are assholes. He could have died.
Yeah. They're freaking stupid. He just beat cancer. Come on, man.
So this match was...
Why chance it?
This match was a 3-way. It was John Morrison versus Jimmy Uso versus Kofi Kingston for the tag titles, and it was a ladder match. It was actually a pretty good match. This is probably like my in the third best match of this Saturday night. So that was actually pretty good. Morrison he pulls down the belts whenever they were all three of them were grabbing the belts, and they knocked him off the ladder, and he was holding on to the belts, so he pulled the belts off and fell on his back. And it looked like a bad fall, but he retained the titles, so that was pretty interesting. So I don't know, I was pretty happy with that.
My friend.
Yeah, I'm okay with Morrison winning.
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
So this number 6 one, I know you're going to be excited about, Chris.
Oh, my favorite.
Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. This was actually the second best match, I thought, in my mind, because it was actually really good. It was I think it was a no holds barred match. It was it was a regular match, and then they
no disqualification.
Yeah, it was a no DQ. It was a regular match, but then Seth accidentally, he disqualified himself, and then they changed it to a no DQ. And I thought it was pretty good. Kevin got on. I don't know how he climbed on top of the WrestleMania logo, but he did, and he jumped off the top off the logo onto the table that Seth was laying on, and it was epic. It was actually a really, really good match. So Kevin Owens beats.
I don't want that big dude falling on me, man.
Yeah. It was actually pretty good. And then number 7, which is I know your favorite one too, Chris. Braun Strowman stepped in for Roman because Roman didn't want to wrestle, and he fought Goldberg for the SmackDown Universal title. And for the love of God, Goldberg he didn't even last 5 minutes in this.
When has he ever?
I know.
When has he ever?
He's never been. He's
so
the guy
annoying.
that comes out and leaves. You know, it's like our
What's
surprise
annoying
guest is gone.
This is for the Universal Championship.
Yeah.
Okay. And Braun Strowman, don't get me wrong, Braun Strowman's put in his work. Braun Strowman's been there.
Yeah.
He deserved a shot at it. I don't have a problem with that. But to have it to where he wins it in 5 minutes, is just that's so. Those matches like that need to be 30-minute matches, man.
Yeah.
They need to be just beat the crap out of each other, tear each other up, and then have a winner. Not 5 minutes.
Yeah, this one was like I can sum it up this whole match. It was 3 spears and 4 power drives, and that was it. So Goldberg.
What more do you need from a Goldberg match?
I know.
He comes out. There's a big explosion. He vapes, and he does.
Yeah,
that was the coolest thing about him. Was like, oh, he breathed the smoke.
Yeah,
his entrance is one of the coolest.
It is.
It is. It's really cool.
Oh,
but his entrance lasts longer than his matches does.
Well, because he's the badass man. He's on the,
Yeah.
I just
who's
think
next, right?
If a title is on the line, it's got to be at least a 30-minute match in my mind.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay with Braun Strowman winning it.
Yeah.
I just don't like the 5 minutes. It's stupid.
Yeah. So. I think if they were if this was really WrestleMania and there was really fans, they probably would, they'd be happy for Braun, but they'd say this match sucked.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
It might have been different if there's a crowd there too.
Yeah. Probably.
It feels like, it's probably going to be hit and miss a lot right now because they're figuring out. I mean, this is a new way of doing it that they've never done before, So it's probably going to be a little shaky.
Yeah.
For a little while, but it is interesting to play out, and good or bad, this is going to be matches that people remember for forever, just because of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, this final match for Saturday night was actually my absolute favorite. It was I'm telling you, it was so awesome, this match, and I didn't think it was going to be a match, and I thought it was Undertaker versus AJ Styles with the Boneyard match.
I didn't watch it, but I watched the intro with the Metallica song where he's on the motorcycle and shit. And it's like, this song's not that great, but this is cool.
Yeah, which I was really happy. He came out as the American. He didn't announce he's coming out as American Badass, but he's pretty much the American Badass. And it was cool as hell. I loved it. I mean, this reminded. I don't know, Chris, if you saw this, but this reminded me of Final Deletion, Matt Hardy on Impact. I think it was Bound for Glory. So it reminded me of that. It was like it was very cinematic. So, and I love the music that was on there. So it was just it kind of reminded me of like kind of mid 90s whatever. Yeah.
And it was like when they really, I think like they released that album, didn't they, at one point with all the intro music and stuff, because there's a lot of acts were into it, man, and like they had their own version of this song for this intro and whatever. And I think Metallica's done it a lot too. I think oh god, I can't even remember, but there was a version that they did for I think it was back during the Attitude Era, one of their songs, and they played it like at Woodstock or at Lollapalooza or something, and it was like so fucking badass. So it had that element to it, like this old the older like 80s, 90s rock and roll.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
It was a great match. It was they had like pyros and they had Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson was there to help out AJ and you know AJ was talking a lot of smack about like prior to this match he was talking a bunch of smack that I've never seen anybody talk about like the Undertaker's personal like his wife. They were talking about he was talking about Michelle McCool and he was showing videos of the Undertaker and Michelle McCool doing stuff for like endangered animals and stuff like that. So he was playing that and making fun of him and saying that, you know, he can't come out of the house without Michelle McCool saying it's okay to make money or something like that. So, so it was pretty funny. And then the Undertaker did a return promo. I think it was like last week. And he was talking about AJ Styles' TNA run that, because AJ says that he's the best in any era and against anybody, and Undertaker was telling them that hey, you couldn't in your prime you couldn't go up against Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, anybody like that. So he was which he made a jab at him at his TNA stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. So
yeah,
but
here's the TNA biggest mistake was getting rid of letting AJ Styles walk. Biggest mistake ever.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had to throw that in there.
Whenever you get a chance, Chris, you really need to watch this match. Whenever.
Oh, I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it.
It was. I'm telling you, it was really good. It had really good music, had really good angles, and the what I loved about it also is that whenever Taker was giving it to AJ was trying to run. He's literally trying to run, and he was.
I'm sorry, that sounded so bad.
What?
Taker was giving it to old AJ. That just sounds dirty. I'm sorry.
It was dirty. They were in dirt. So. But he was like going to town on him, and he's like he kept telling AJ, you can't run, AJ, you can't run. And he was telling AJ, you wanted this? Hey, you wanted this? Hey, man. Hey, wake up. Come on. You wanted this? So
it keeps getting worse in my head. So that's it's interesting that they can probably go more cinematic.
Yeah.
That aspect too, since they don't have, and if they do continue to do the pre-recorded stuff, I mean, that's one aspect that's pretty interesting. That can make it more like a telenovela type thing,
yeah,
that's the rumor. Yeah. That's the rumor that we're giving it, that we're going to go more cinematic. I imagine this match right now, Cena versus Bray Wyatt or The Fiend, is going to be cinematic. So that's what I'm hoping for. But that was the conclusion of the first night, which was great. I loved it. So, and we can go into the second night because we're halfway through the second night right now. So.
Lemon on a pear.
So the first match was Liv Morgan versus Natalia. That was okay match, and I think Liv Morgan won that one. Yeah, she won that one, and it was okay. It was an okay match.
The only reason why Natalia is there is because she's a heart.
Yeah. And then the second match, I believe, was Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. That love triangle one.
Otis.
Yeah.
Aww.
So. Yeah, they were there. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for Otis because they kind of made him into like a funny shtick, and I know that's not what he wants. But he's just doing it anyway.
I mean, if it gets him to where he wants to be, you gotta take your lumps sometimes.
Yeah, well,
here's look at Dolph Ziggler. He was the freaking cheerleader.
Yeah.
When he came in.
Yeah.
So, and look where he's at now. You got to pay your dues, man.
Well,
not all of them have to pay their dues.
Yeah,
they should.
I mean, they're going to do it because they're number one. They're pushing Otis. They're pushing Dolph. They're pushing Liv Morgan. They're pushing. I can't think of the other girl's name. The girl with Liv Morgan. I can't think of her name. Anyway, so they're pushing all four of them into storyline. So it makes sense. I just feel bad because I know that's probably not what he wants. He wants to do tag stuff, and he wants to wrestle and be a big girly guy. But you know, hey, you gotta do that. You gotta do.
I mean,
Well, right now he gets to carry a hot chick around a lot.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. What's his name? I think Otis ends up winning this one. So I wasn't watching it all the way, but I think he won this. He won this one. The next one that they showed was Bobby Lashley versus Aleister Black, and this one was kind of odd because they didn't do any build up to this one at all. They just kind of just paired them together, and Aleister Black is the guy that they're pushing really, really hard. They're pushing really hard. He's
the one you really like, right?
Yeah, I like him a lot. I like his song. I like his shtick. I like his MMA style. He has a roundhouse kick called the Black Mass, which I love. And he beats Bobby Lashley pretty good. I think Bobby had the match. He had the match the whole time. I think like the last 5 minutes, Aleister decided to start beating him, and he does. So I thought it was cool. So
Aleister took it?
Yeah, he took it. He did a roundhouse kick and pinned him. And then this one went on a while ago. The Raw Tag Team titles, Angel Garcia, Austin Theory versus the Street Profits. And this one was like another one that they kind of just threw together too, because I think they didn't have any people. They didn't have any people here there to step in and take them. So I think I can't remember who was supposed to be the original guys that are supposed to take on the Street Profits. I think it might have been. I think it might have been Andrade, but I think he got hurt or got sick or didn't want to do it or something, so he dropped out. So
I thought he got hurt.
He did, but he came back. He came back, I think, like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so the Street Profits, I think, I'm not sure if they actually won that one. And then there was a Fatal 5-Way a while ago. Lacey Evans, Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Tanima Snuka with Bailey. And to be honest with you, I didn't even watch that one, so that one was like, I don't know. To me, that tells me that you don't really think that highly of your SmackDown champion to go one-on-one. You have to put in like 4 other girls to do that one. So
yeah,
I think it's kind of a gimmick too. I mean, I've noticed that there's a lot of the girl matches seem to be all the look at all the hot chicks rolling around and stuff and pulling hair and blah blah blah. I think it's a shtick.
When that's another thing. If the title's on the line, it should be one-on-one.
Yeah.
It should be the champion and the number one contender, and they go at it. It should never be a fatal 5-way where anybody can pin anybody and win. I hate that. I hate that. That just diminishes the title. It makes it not worth anything.
I didn't. Whenever the show started, Edge was fighting Randy Orton, and I didn't. There were I think it was like a Falls Count Anywhere match or something like that. They were fighting all over the warehouse, looked like it, but I didn't see who won. Did you happen to see who won? So
I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention either.
But thinking, hey, I'd get in the middle of that.
But that one's probably one I'm going to go back and look at that one because I'm a big Edge fan, and I wanted to concentrate on the show, and I didn't watch it. So, but it looked like they were fighting everywhere on top of cars and top of warehouses.
You know what's cool about that is Edge was hurt for so long, and he comes back and he goes into one of those matches.
Yeah,
that's pretty stinking awesome.
It is, and that says a lot about his conditioning and the medical
how
that he
far
got.
He's come.
And
how much work he's put in.
Yeah,
because Edge, I know Edge is your favorite,
mm-hmm.
but he's definitely one of the greatest wrestlers in WWE history, and I think it's so cool that he worked so hard to come back. Because he's been out a long time, man.
Yeah.
And he put all that work and all that effort to come back, and his first big match back is in there with Orton and kicking each other's butts. That's freaking awesome.
And then this one I didn't mention this one earlier. This one happened earlier. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley's another NXT
Yeah,
she's
I don't even.
She's the NXT champion, and so rather than because I think Charlotte won the women's Royal Rumble, and she had her option to either pick
And
Bayley.
she gets to choose.
Yeah, she could pick Bayley or she pick the man, but she decided to pick Rhea Ripley to push her. And I don't I don't think, like I was saying earlier about Baszler, I don't think that Rhea Ripley has earned the right to go on WrestleMania. That's just me.
No.
So that's actually, and to be honest with you, it was actually a good match. It was actually a really good match. Very entertaining. So
good for that. But you have the greatest female wrestler in your company right now fighting for the NXT title.
Yeah.
That's
Charlotte.
You talk about a smack in the face.
Yeah, Charlotte won that one. So to me, that's a step down.
Yeah.
So
that's I don't get it, man. That's what irritates me about WWE.
Yeah.
They do stupid crap like that.
And let me see here. Also, right now, what's going on right now is John Cena and The Fiend are having. It don't look like it's a match yet. They're running through Cena's evolution. Like, so Cena came out like he dressed whenever he confronted Angle for ruthless aggression.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
he came out to the ring, and it looks like it's like cinema feel to it. And he came out to talk to Bray, and Bray disappeared, and then now he's out on the ring talking to Bray and his thugonomics right now. So that's go ahead.
I gotta cut in here real quick because I know you'll like this. Britt and the kids are sitting in the living room right now, and they're watching David Blaine Street Magic.
Oh, they're really?
And he's doing magic on Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God! I gotta do my deal now. Dang it!
Yeah, you're late, man.
I know.
Come on. I had to say, because I looked up. I hadn't been watching it. I've been on the computer looking at but I just happened to look up, and he's doing a trick on Justin Timberlake. So
yeah,
I had to put it in there.
So,
but anyway, yeah, they're doing an evolution of Cena. And isn't it like a Firefly Funhouse or something like that? Weren't that the term?
Yeah, I think so. I'm hoping they do it out of the ring somewhere, kind of like the Boneyard match. So, and they're running through like Bray Wyatt's background and what he used to be, Bray Wyatt, and then they're running through the background of Cena as well. But I don't think they actually had the match yet, so that's kind of interesting. I think this is after this one, it's going to be Lesnar versus your boy Drew.
Oh yeah,
Drew McIntyre.
I'm really excited about that one.
So I know you don't like him, but I feel really bad for him because this is his moment, man, and it's like he's not going to be able to do it in front of a crowd, and I know that's he's going to probably say this is what he wanted, but really, every person that dreams about main event WrestleMania, you dream about the big venue and attendance record and the crowd and all this stuff. And
well, especially your first time.
Yeah.
Your first time, and you get to be the legit main event.
Yeah.
Against Brock Lesnar, and you're doing it pre-recorded in front of nobody.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, and I kind of mentioned that to you the other day, that it will be remembered.
Yeah.
For forever.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, I mean, it's the first time WrestleMania has ever been like this. So you're like you said, their stance in history is already there. So.
I mean, it's going to be forever noticed as the absent WrestleMania, but
I mean, it might not have been great for them experience wise. It might not have been what they wanted, but
right
in the end,
but nobody's going to forget it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody's going to remember it.
Yep. So hopefully,
I hope as much as I do not like Drew McIntyre, I hope he wins the stinking title. I hope he beats Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
because I cannot. He is by far number one, just most disliked wrestler in the world is Brock Lesnar.
Well, hopefully this will push Drew McIntyre over, and he'll be a bigger draw than Brock, and they won't need Brock anymore.
You know what? I would rather have Drew McIntyre than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Because I know Bobby Lashley's been screaming, man, that he wants to take on Brock. But
well, you know what? He deserves it more than Drew McIntyre does. He does.
Yeah.
He absolutely does.
You know,
Drew McIntyre draws more.
Yeah.
That's why he's getting it. So.
Cena and them are doing this weird NWO WCW deal right now. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, sorry.
Yeah, we need to go back. I keep going back. I mean, they're doing a lot of shit.
I know they are.
It's interesting, but you know, Cena's got his he's an actor.
Bring back the Attitude Era. Bring back the Attitude Era.
So
bring it back.
So we are in. Let's see here, we're 1 minute and 40 seconds in.
40 seconds.
So we've gone over a lot, man.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Dark
Side
of the Ring?
I think this is the most wrestling that we've covered in a long time. Man.
Yeah. What
so we have to do WrestleMania.
What were you saying, Ash?
No, I was just going to say, since we got a little bit of time, and the only thing I could think about, you've been watching Dark Side of the Ring a lot.
Yes. You guys want to talk about that?
Oh man,
I haven't watched it yet, but
I watched the Benoit one.
Yeah,
and
you guys go ahead and talk.
Wow.
I have to step off really quick, so you guys go ahead and talk.
Is that part of the show too?
Did you watch the Benoit one?
I haven't, but we were listening to it was Jericho's podcast about I guess it was the guy that does it was on there, and he was talking about it a lot, but I haven't watched it yet. It's on a to-do thing, you know.
Yeah.
I got a lot of time right now.
Yeah, there's 2 parts to it, and both of them, you know how like in a lot of like when I have like a 1 part and a 2 part, either the first or the second part has like all the good stuff in it.
Yeah. Well,
this one, both parts are just phenomenal, and they're done so well. They're done so good, and Jericho has a lot to do. You know, Jericho is one of my favorite wrestlers, and he has a lot of input. One of the things I like about it at the first, like in the very beginning, he's like, if you don't want to hear, you know, the bad stuff, if you don't want to hear it, then just turn the TV off right now, because I'm just gonna tell it like it is. And they really do. I want to watch the other one because this one was so good, and I knew what Benoit did.
Right.
But I didn't realize the depth, that how deep it went.
Yeah.
It was.
I think it's something.
It was wow.
Yeah. And you know, I haven't watched that, but you know, I've listened to different interviews and different people from that knew him or just from like that type of, not necessarily wrestling but fighters, to talk about it, and you know, about how that sort of thing can happen a lot of times with people that have experienced brain injuries.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure if they touched on that a lot.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
They
Okay.
did. They actually had like a brain guy on there talking.
Yeah.
So
I feel like.
But the thing is
okay. Well, when not just these sports, but when it comes to any type of contact sports, anything that has brain injuries and stuff like that, I feel like this is a very, very important thing, because it has so many adverse effects later on. I mean, you could be knocked out once in your life and then have things that echo throughout your entire life.
Your whole for the rest of your life. Yeah. But the thing is they a lot of people just wanted to throw it off as roid rage.
Right.
You know, there was so much more into it than just roid rage.
Yeah.
It's so much deeper than just, he freaked out because he was on steroids. No, the dude had some heavy mental issues going on. So
I think
the thing that really creeped me out about it was, and I'm not going to give it away because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but the 2 things that he looked up before he went ahead and did what he did. That really was like, okay, this guy's lost his cookies. So
a lot of times those type of injuries lead to onset of dementia, and
yeah,
he might have had no idea that he was doing what he was doing.
That's what that brain surgeon guy or the medical examiner was saying.
And I feel that's a conversation that a lot of athletes need to pay attention to, and that we talked about. I've talked about it a lot, about older fighters coming back, where it's like it's great, it's exciting, but it's like at what cost, especially in the UFC, I'll use an example like Chuck Liddell. They won't let him fight anymore.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
He's going off card, and he's like, I can still do this. I'm like, just because you can still physically fight does not mean you should.
Right.
Because how many times have you taken hits to the head? What's it going to do to your health later on? And I feel like all sorts of contact sports, football, like you couldn't believe, people get that sort of thing from like riding boats and stuff, from the vibration from it just, and I don't think that it's common knowledge that this is possible, and the side effects that could happen when these players and fighters and athletes and entertainers later on in life, the risks that they actually put their bodies through.
Yeah, I think he went through a lot, because like number one, he had some. He probably had more than 10 concussions, and then Eddie Guerrero's death was probably leaned on him probably a lot, and so that mixture.
I think that had a lot.
Yeah, that mixture was not conducive for him.
It was a perfect storm.
Yeah, and so the good thing about that show is that it was really well told. Mm-hmm. And it was like it's well told, really was. And it had different perspectives, and so they said they didn't want to do that show without the sister,
right?
And so
I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I think it was Catherine,
something like that. Yeah.
And so that was and they also had Chris's older son David was on it too.
Yeah.
And Jim Ross was there. Dean Malenko. What's his name? Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo.
And Chris Jericho. Yeah, and Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho. And Guerrero's wife too.
Yeah, Vicky Guerrero. Yeah, so it was a really good different angles, and they talked about it so well, because like actually this is actually a really good series, and I watched Bruiser Brody's murder, and then I watched the Montreal Screwjob, and I watched Gino Hernandez's death.
Yeah, Vice puts out good stuff.
Yeah, and so these guys are really like, they grew up wrestling fans, and they were really passionate about it. And some of these stories, like they wanted to do this, the Chris story that was top on their list, but they were doing some stories that they didn't even heard of, and which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
But this story, man, it's just like, I was watching it. I watched it in 2 separate nights. I told Chris about it. I watched the first part, and then I watched the second part the next day after I talked to Chris. And man, I felt bad. I wanted to cry, because I just.
Yeah.
It's hard not to. It's like he's after it happened and you find out why, at first it's like really, really sad, and it's like, oh well, fuck that piece of shit, blah blah blah. But it just seems like he was a victim to himself too.
Yeah, I think Chris Jericho said it best, that his death almost ended the business.
Yeah,
it almost ended the business, and it changed it dramatically, because like they have a heavy like policy now, which they should have.
Yeah, exactly. They should have had it back then, but they wouldn't have near what they have now if this hadn't happened.
Yeah, and I mean, because like he was, Chris was like a huge wrestling fan, and he was in the business, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't, because after this he got erased. He got erased from history.
Yeah,
right.
Well, he'll never be mentioned in WWE.
Yeah.
Again, never.
And
here's.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's like, while I understand it to a point, at the same time I think it's foolish, because I think it should be discussed honestly, and
Vince won't do that.
I know, and it's ridiculous because he's a businessman.
But
that just, to me, I mean, if not with the public, at least with his athletes, because it's a serious deal. It's like, dude, you got to take into this kind of thing, and like the risk that they take, and I understand that drug wise or whatever, but you got to really think about their bodies and what could happen after they leave the ring.
If they do it in the right context, then I think it should be talked about, and it should be in the context of look how far it could go. Look at where it could end up if you do this, or if you take too many shots to the head. But even I still don't believe he should ever. I don't think anybody like that should be mortalized. And I get
right.
He was messed up in the head, and he had a lot of stuff going on. But I don't think anybody that does anything like that should be mortalized in anything
right.
In history. I just don't believe it. But for them not to ever mention him or talk about him, because he was one of the greatest wrestlers ever to wrestle.
Yep.
And for them to don't put him in the Hall of Fame. I get it. If you don't want to put him in the Hall of Fame, don't put him in the Hall of Fame. But never to mention him, I don't think. I don't. It should be talked about.
They'll never say this, but his defection from WCW was one of the main reasons why WWE won the Monday Night Wars. They won't talk about it because it was him, Eddie, and Jericho that left WCW, came over to WWE because WCW overlooked those guys because they were small in stature and they weren't big guys.
Guess what happened? The tide turned.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous because, when I was a kid and I was watching during that time, I watched WCW over what was WWF at the time.
Uh-huh.
And, those guys were like, when I think about it, those are three of the main guys that I remember, and that's just as ridiculous to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Those three guys came over at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think Chavo came over
too. They all.
Yeah.
Chavo came with, yeah.
So,
but when that happened, there was a distinct difference. It wasn't even close, man. They came over and they just took over, and
because
the Monday night,
the Monday Night Wars was changed.
Yeah, completely.
Because I can't.
But I think too. I have to say this before I forget it. I think too. Part of the reason why McMahon is how he is on the subject is because he felt like a fool because they did that memorial right after, before they had any of the information out. I think he felt like a fool for doing that.
Well, he should have known his wrestlers.
He needed to let that shit go because nobody knew. Nobody knew the details.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody. The news sources didn't even know.
Right.
So, but I think he felt like a fool for doing that, and I think that weighs a lot on his decision not to ever talk about him again.
And he might have some shit going with his conscience. I don't know if you guys have watched the Andre the Giant documentary,
right?
But it gets pretty heavy with Vince on it.
Yeah, it does.
And there's a lot of stuff on there about I think he probably has a lot of regret with a lot of things that he's done in the business. And he said himself that he
made a lot of shady moves. He's done a lot of shady crap, man.
We got about, let me see, we got like 7 minutes ago. What I'll say in close about that show was the good thing about it is that Chris Jericho got Chris Benoit's wife, sister, and his older son to contact each other. He gave them each other's numbers because they hadn't talked since that night because I think David was supposed to be there, but wasn't, and so he wasn't. He went to the funeral, but I think that's the last time he talked to his aunt, and so Jericho gave David and the wife's, I can't think of her name right now, number. They called each other and talked for 2 hours, and I think he flew them out to an AEW Chicago show, And the video ends with them talking and spending time together, and connecting back again. So
Jericho's good peeps.
He is, man. He's
like, man, I'm telling you, Jericho is man. AEW did it right when they let Jericho have the reins and let him go with it because he'll carry any show, anything. He's just I'm a big Jericho fan.
He's a front man.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely. All aspects. He knows how to work an audience.
I just reconnected with his podcast right now.
Yeah,
this weekend. So I've listened to like 6 of his episodes. And it's good. It's got he talks to Matt, talks to Brody Lee, so he's got some good material, and he doesn't hold back.
I love the thing that the thing they got going on with Hardy and Jericho right now, because the Hardy boys, man,
and his condition.
Yeah, he's condition. So, but yeah. Even though their little one-on-one that they had the other night was kind of weird, and I think they kind of ad-libbed a whole lot of that. It was kind of strange, but anyway.
So we got like 5 minutes left. We need to talk about what we're going to call this show.
I don't know.
Man, I think I picked one name for a show, and it's our lowest rating show. So I won't do it anymore.
Quick spoiler. Quick spoiler. Drew just beat Brock.
Yes, thank you.
So he's now the WWE champion. So
man,
I've missed it.
I'm not super excited, but I'm crazy excited. I guess that's kind of the same thing. I just don't want Brock to be the champ no more.
Yeah, me too. I love Brock.
I'm so happy
I love what he does, but I'm glad he was able to push this young talent. So
yeah.
So
but he's gonna get it back. So I know it's gonna happen. He'll probably get it back next pay-per-view. So
what's the? Should we call this WrestleMania 36?
Sure.
Since we talked mostly about WrestleMania, then
I mean. You call it what you want it. I told you I came up with the one title that I came up with as our lowest ranking episode. So.
The only other suggestion I would be is like he had big feet.
He had big hands.
Really big feet.
He was all hunched over, black hair.
What if
black and hunched over?
What if we call it Christopher Walken's dad's WrestleMania 36?
That sounds like clickbait.
Oh man, that's awesome. Oh, okay. All right.
Just call it all the above. So.
Just pick one and then AKA.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken's dad, AKA. He had big feet, AKA.
WrestleMania 36.
WrestleMania 36.
Okay. All right. Any shout outs to anybody?
Hey, always shout out to my familia in the living room watching David Blaine.
Did you say familia?
Familia. That's my
Are
new
they
word,
eating
right?
tortillas and jalapenos?
No, they're eating my stew. They're eating my stew that I made that I'm ready to eat. So
Fonny's gonna get mad at you.
But I know it.
Familia.
So, anyway.
My familia, poor favor.
My wife and baby's in the living room eating up on the stew and watching David Blaine. Always shout out to them.
I want to give a shout out to everybody that's listening to this during this trying time, and we want to give you content to listen to while you're at home, and
we're figuring it out.
Yeah. So thank you for downloading. Thank you for being a part of this show, and
always
go to our Facebook page, give us comments. Go to our Twitter, give us comments, and it's going to be posted later on tonight. So
I don't know
what.
There's no way that they're going to be like, okay. Because if it's posted, then they're listening to it, so they already know that.
Yeah, then they can comment.
This is going to be posted later, and just so you know.
Yeah, and then they can comment on it. So, but anyway, okay.
All right.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for being part of it. Thanks for calling in, and we're gonna call it. We're gonna call this show
a Nochi.
I know, right? Let me just key this out really quick. All right, here we go.